I'm Liam.
I'm Chloe. Welcome to Daily Cup English.
Have you ever been in a conversation where someone asks you a simple English question, like, what did you do last weekend? And suddenly your brain completely freezes.
Oh, absolutely. You know exactly what you want to say in your native language, but in your head, there is a giant traffic jam. You're frantically translating every single noun, searching for the right past tense verb, organizing the prepositions, and while you're doing all that heavy work, 5 awkward seconds have already passed.
Exactly. And in a real conversation, 5 seconds of complete silence feels like 5 hours. You start to panic, your hands get a little sweaty, you lose your confidence, and you end up giving a short one-word answer like, nothing special.
And then on your way home, you feel terrible. You think, why am I so bad at English? I've studied grammar for years, I read English articles, I watch movies with subtitles. Why can't I just speak naturally?
Here is the truth. You are not bad at English. You don't lack intelligence, and you don't lack vocabulary. You only have one bad mental habit. You are translating everything back and forth in your head before you speak. Welcome back to Daily Cup English. Grab your favorite cup of coffee or tea, sit back, and make yourself comfortable. Today, Liam and I have prepared a full masterclass. We are going to break down the 10 essential steps that will help you stop translating and start thinking directly in English.
Liam, before we give our listeners the solutions, let's explain why our brains are addicted to translating in the first place.
It all comes down to how 99% of us were taught English at school. Think back to your classroom. The teacher wrote a word on the blackboard, and right next to it, they wrote the translation in your native language.
Exactly. So our brain built what scientists call a 3-step mental bridge. Step 1, you see a real-world object or have an idea. Step 2, your brain finds the word in your native language. Step 3, your internal dictionary translates that word into English.
For example, when you see a warm cup of coffee in the morning, your eyes see the cup, your brain says the native word first, and then after half a second, it translates it to coffee.
That extra middle step takes massive amounts of mental energy. When you try to form a 10-word sentence, your brain has to perform that translation process 10 times in a row, plus calculate grammar formulas. That is why your speaking feels clunky, robotic, and exhausted. But think about native English speakers. When they talk, do they translate from another language? Never. They have a 2-step direct connection. They see an idea, and the English words immediately roll off their tongue. Today, our goal is to cut that middle bridge completely. And the best part is, you don't need to live in an English-speaking country to do this. You can train your brain right from your bedroom, starting with step number 1.
Step number 1 is the foundation of everything. Single word object labeling.
A lot of advanced learners look down on this exercise because they think it's too simple. But in reality, simplicity is why it works. Emma, walk us through how our listeners can do this right now.
Look around whatever room you are in right now. Don't try to make long sentences. Just name the physical objects you see in English. Look at your desk, laptop, mouse, notebook, pen, coffee mug, charging cable. Look around your bedroom. Pillow, blanket, curtains, lamp, mirror, wardrobe. And you don't even have to speak out loud if you are on a bus or at work. Just look at the object and let the English sound pop into your mind instantly. When you see an apple on the table, don't think of the fruit in your native language. Look at the red shape and immediately think apple. Over time, this trains your brain to associate physical reality directly with English phonetics, bypassing your native language entirely. What happens if you see an object and you honestly don't know the English word? For example, you look at a kitchen tool and realize you don't know what it's called.
That's a great point. Don't stop your exercise, and don't pull out your phone immediately to open a dictionary because that ruins your focus. Just make a quick mental note, keep labeling other things, and search for that one word at the end of the day.
Once labeling single nouns feels effortless, you move on to step 2, action narration.
I call this the movie character technique. Imagine you are the star of a documentary film about your life, and you are quietly narrating your daily routine in simple present or present continuous tense.
Let's give our listeners a real-life example. Suppose you wake up and go into the kitchen to prepare breakfast. How would you narrate that, Emma?
Very simply, like this. I am turning on the stove. I am pouring cold water into the kettle. I need 2 slices of bread. The pan is getting hot. I am cracking an egg.
Notice how clean and short those sentences are. You don't need complex academic vocabulary like, I am currently facilitating the culinary preparation of my morning sustenance. That sounds ridiculous.
Exactly. Nobody speaks like that in real life. The primary goal of action narration is automatic speed and rhythm.
When you wash the dishes, the water is warm. I am scrubbing this bowl. Now I rinse it. I place it on the rack to dry. If you do this for just 5 minutes while doing daily chores, you build muscle memory. Your brain starts linking basic actions directly to English verbs without any native language interference.
Now, let's step up the game. Step 3 is switching your internal monologue to English. Human beings are constantly talking to themselves. From the moment we wake up until we go to sleep, we have an ongoing voice inside our heads, making decisions, planning the day, or worrying about things. Psychologists estimate that we have tens of thousands of thoughts every single day. And right now, 100% of your internal thoughts are running in your native language. To think in English, you have to consciously switch that inner voice to English for short moments during the day. For example, when you are planning your afternoon at work, instead of native thoughts, tell yourself, okay, I need to finish this report by 2 p.m. Then I have a team meeting. After work, I should buy some groceries.
Or when you're deciding what to eat for lunch. Do I want noodles or rice today? It's raining outside, so hot soup sounds really nice.
If you catch yourself thinking in your native language, don't get frustrated. Just gently hit the pause button in your mind, translate that last thought into English once, and continue in English.
Start with just 3 to 5 minutes of English self-talk per day. It will feel strange on day 1, but by day 7, it will start feeling completely natural.
Step 4 solves the number one psychological barrier that freezes English learners: perfectionism. We call this the good enough rule.
This is huge. Most learners freeze because they are obsessed with finding the exact perfect word they memorized from a textbook.
Let's imagine a real scenario. You're talking with a coworker and you want to explain that a project was delayed because a colleague was being extremely stubborn or was procrastinating. But in that split second, your mind goes blank on those 2 fancy words.
What does a perfectionist do? They stop speaking, they stare at the ceiling, their face turns red, and the conversation dies.
But what does a fluent speaker do? They take an easy detour. They use simple, descriptive words to explain the idea. If you forget the word stubborn, say, he just refused to change his mind. If you forget the word procrastinate, say, he kept putting off the work until the deadline. If you forget the word exhausted, say, I was so tired I couldn't keep my eyes open all day.
That is brilliant. In real human communication, conveying the message is 100% of the victory. Nobody grades you on whether you used a C1 level adjective or simple A2 phrases. Train your mind to accept good enough. Keep the conversation flowing smoothly. An imperfect sentence that flows is 10 times better than a perfect sentence that never leaves your mouth.
Step 5 is a major structural shift in how you learn vocabulary. Stop memorizing isolated words. Learn collocations. Liam, explain why memorizing single words from a vocabulary list actually damages our ability to think in English.
When you memorize isolated words like make, do, decision, or mistake, every time you want to speak, your brain has to solve a puzzle. Do I say do a decision or make a decision? Do I make homework or do homework?
Exactly. That puzzle solving creates instant hesitation. But if you learn words in fixed pairs, called collocations or phrasal chunks, your brain retrieves the entire block as a single unit.
Look at how much easier this is. Don't just learn the word decision. Learn the chunk, make a decision. Don't just learn the word habit. Learn the chunk, build a healthy habit. Don't just learn the word time. Learn the chunk, spend time with someone.
When you memorize chunks, you don't translate word by word. When you want to say you made an error, the whole phrase, I made a mistake, comes out automatically without thinking about grammar rules.
Next time you hear a new word in our podcasts, don't write down that single word in your notebook. Write down the whole 3-word phrase that surrounded it.
Step 6 is all about consistency. Daily micro immersion.
Many people think, to think in English, I have to study for 3 hours every night. But after a long, exhausting workday, who has the energy for 3 hours of intense study? Nobody.
And then people give up after 4 days because of burnout. That is why we advocate for micro immersion. Small, effortless 10-minute habits that keep your brain bathed in English throughout the day.
Here are 3 tiny changes you can make today. 1. Change your phone language to English. You check your phone dozens of times a day. Seeing settings, battery, notifications, and airplane mode forces your subconscious mind to accept English as a normal part of life. 2. Listen to 10 minutes of an English podcast while commuting or walking. Don't stress about catching every syllable. Just let your ears get used to the natural cadence and melody of the language. 3. Write your daily to-do list in English. Instead of writing tasks in your native language, write send email to boss, buy milk and eggs, call mom at 7 p.m.
These micro habits don't require extra study time. They seamlessly integrate into what you are already doing, keeping your brain in English mode.
Now, let's put theory into practice right this second. Emma and I have designed a 60-second reflex challenge for everyone listening.
Here are the rules. Liam is going to ask you 3 simple questions. I will give you a 5-second countdown for each.
Your goal is to answer out loud or in your head using only simple English words. Do not translate from your native language. Say whatever first pops into your mind, even if it's super basic.
Are you ready? Take a deep breath. Let's begin.
Question 1. What is on your desk or in your hands right now? Name 3 things.
Great job. For example, my phone, a pen, and a cup of water. Simple and fast.
Question 2. What did you have for your last meal?
Awesome! You could simply say, I ate chicken and rice with some vegetables. No translation needed.
Question 3. What is one thing you are going to do right after this podcast?
Fantastic! For example, I am going to wash the dishes, or I will check my work messages.
If you just answered those 3 questions without translating full paragraphs in your head, congratulations! You just proved to yourself that you can think directly in English.
To wrap up today's masterclass, let's do a quick pronunciation and meaning review of the 8 core phrases we used in this episode. Listen to Emma and shadow her pronunciation.
1. Brain freeze. My brain froze when they asked me a sudden question. 2. Mental bridge. We need to break the mental bridge of translating. 3. Object labeling. Object labeling is the easiest daily practice. 4. Internal monologue. Switch your internal monologue to English for 5 minutes. 5. Take a detour. If you forget a fancy word, just take a detour. 6. Collocation. Learning collocations helps you speak much faster. 7. Microimmersion. Microimmersion keeps your mind in English mode. 8. Muscle memory. Daily repetition builds vocal muscle memory.
Practice these techniques every single day. Label 5 objects in your room, narrate 1 routine chore, learn phrases instead of single words, and never be afraid of simple language.
If you found today's episode helpful, please give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and share this video with a friend who is also trying to speak English fluently. In our upcoming episode, we are diving deep into Train Your Ears, how to understand fast native English, step-by-step guide. Click the video appearing on your screen right now to join us. Have a wonderful day and see you next time on Daily Cup English.